Coming up, a middle school fight has parents concerned on how school leaders are handling safety, what we know about the incident so far. And more than 1,000 jobs saved at North Toledo. This comes after leadership changes at Stellantis, what officials say is in store for the plant's future.
We're looking at icy conditions that will be developing across the area very late Wednesday night, set to impact your Thursday morning. That freezing rain will bring some ice accumulations. We'll break down the timing in the hour-by-hour forecast and also talk the impacts. That's all coming up.
Thanks for joining us on WTOL 11 News on Plus. I'm Kaylee Marantet. Let's take a look at your top stories for this Tuesday night. Fremont police are investigating after a fight broke out among middle school students during bus drop-off. This happened last Thursday at Fremont Middle School. According to a police report, 5 students were fighting each other for several minutes. Fremont City School Superintendent Denise Hurt assures that there was an adult to break up the fight and there was a resource officer on campus.
Our daily goal is to make sure that we have both a positive and safe environment from the moment that the students hit our campus until the moment that they leave at the end of the day.
The superintendent also told us they advise staff not to get in the middle of fights. The students involved are now facing discipline from the district and possible criminal charges as well. An investigation is underway after an anonymous threat was made against Glendale Fieldbach Elementary School in South Toledo. A letter was sent out to families this morning from the district saying the threat was posted on social media last night. Police and the district's Department of Public Safety were notified and are working to find out who made the threat. TPD and TPS officers were at the school this morning as students arrived. The last few months have been a roller coaster for the Stellantis Jeep plant in North Toledo. In November, we learned 1,100 employees were set to be laid off, only for the decision to be reversed right before Christmas after a change in leadership at top levels of Stellantis. Michael Sandlin brings us the latest.
The fate of Toledo's automotive future was decided an ocean away, in the boardroom of Stellantis headquarters in the Netherlands. It was there former CEO Carlos Tavares resigned effective immediately, setting the stage for a new line of thinking for all of the company's brands across the globe, which includes rethinking a massive layoff at the Jeep plant right before Christmas.
It's all changed dramatically and all for the good.
UAW Local 12 President Bruce Baumhauer says it not only benefited the plant at the local level, it might have saved the entire Jeep brand.
The prior leadership had put us in a ditch and we had no sales on our cars. They continued to raise prices to make more profits and couldn't give our cars away. So that's what put us in that situation. New leadership comes in, lowers prices, moving cars like crazy. Dealers are happy and we're happy.
And of course, Baumhauer says the employees who were set to be on the chopping block are happy too.
Layoffs went from 1,166 to 0 over several weeks. Yeah, they feel good. Everybody feeling pretty good about that.
So what's next for the plant? Baumhauer says they're now in the rebuilding phase, starting with reigniting interest in their truck, the Jeep Gladiator.
Truck sales have been slow, and I think the truck needs a shot in the arm. They claim they're going to bring in a hybrid out like they did the Wrangler, and I think that'll really boost the sales.
But when hybrid production will actually begin is still up in the air. Baumhauer says Jeep executives have been teasing it for well over a year and a half now, but multiple delays have left the newly re-energized plant still holding their breath.
The only thing I can tell you is I hope it's soon, because we've been hearing about it for a long time and it's been delayed. We're ready to launch a new hybrid.
It's not the only big change in the Jeep plant's future. The plant could lose up to 400 employees at the Belvidere plant in Illinois, and they're looking to reopen in 2027 after shutting down in 2023. Many of its staff came to work in Toledo after the fallout. Governor Mike DeWine has signed an executive order to bring all state workers back to office. According to the executive order, state agencies, board, and commissions are required to return to the office no later than March 17th. Many started working from home at the start of the pandemic in 2020. Some workers returned to the office full-time or hybrid once the state emergency ended in 2021. Well, it's tax season, and experts say instead of panicking, try to prepare. Most people have until April 15th to file their 2024 returns, pay any taxes owed, or request an extension to file. Right now, you should be getting your documents together. Make sure you have your W-2s, and if you're an independent contractor, make sure you've got your 1099s. Then make sure you have unemployment, dividends, Social Security, or pension documents. And don't forget claim tax credits. Lucas County Commissioner and former county auditor Anita Lopez is no longer on the county board, which oversees challenges to property values. The commissioners voted unanimously today to have Pete Gherkin take Lopez's seat on the Lucas County Board of Revision. This comes as the current auditor has requested a third-party investigation into errors which caused hundreds of Lucas County properties to be revalued incorrectly.
We also want to avoid even the perception of a conflict. And we have the full confidence in the BOR process, and we also are in support of Auditor Moline's third-party investigation.
State Representative Josh Williams has called for a separate investigation into what he claimed was a consistent effort by previous auditors to undervalue properties. Chris?
It's great to talk to everybody about the upcoming ice that's going to be coming into the area with the threat of freezing rain, highlighting an alert day that is going to be out there Thursday morning. It's going to be the risk of freezing rain and ice. The greatest impact is going to be to travel. As we've been saying all along, this is not going to be a major ice storm. It's not going to be knocking trees and power down. It is just going to be an impact to travel. Ice accumulation of around 1/10 of an inch will be possible. And keep in mind, if the ice is coating the ground, even if it's a glaze of ice, it's going to create very slippery conditions and travel. Meanwhile, things remain quiet across the area. Clouds that have increased, and we felt that cooler breeze keeping us back closer to the lower 30s for highs as we went through our Tuesday afternoon. We're going to be falling tonight slowly and gently back into the lower 20s. We're going to be below freezing all night tonight, below freezing all day tomorrow. Upper 20s to near 30s where we're going to end up into the afternoon tomorrow. So let's put you right around 30 degrees for the high Wednesday. It is going to be dry. Sun up to sundown, even through about 11 o'clock in the evening is when we're going to see that first chance of freezing rain into the area. So generally upper 20s to near 30 degrees with dry conditions. Now freezing rain, it's going to be for all of us. Greatest risk may end up being just along and south of the Maumee River. So Bowling Green, south of Route 6 over toward Findlay, Tiffin, Upper Sandusky, back toward Ottawa. Could be in line for 1/10 of an inch, possibly slightly higher totals of ice. Let's let the numbers roll through on the hour-by-hour accumulation. And again, all the areas will see ice. We're looking at about 1/10 of an inch or less across southern Michigan, close to 1/10 of an inch in the Toledo metro, and could get some higher totals along the 224 corridor from Findlay, Upper Sandusky as well over toward Ottawa. Could be slightly over 1/10 of an inch of ice. So the impact level, let's just go middle of the road on this. Any ice is serious ice, so about a 3 out of 5 is going to be the intensity scale on that. Really going to tighten up that alert day. Just going to be expected for Thursday morning. Due to the threat of ice, it will take us eventually above freezing by the time we hit lunchtime and into the afternoon, but it will still take some time to melt away any of that ice. So I'm going to urge you caution if you're going to be traveling any point early Thursday. So let's time this out with the hour-by-hour forecast. I'm going to let this roll into motion. A lot of cloud cover across the region as we go into Wednesday. It will be dry all day Wednesday. I'll take you to 5 p.m. This is dinner time, evening drive. We are still looking at dry conditions just off to the south and to the west. That is the developing freezing rain, and that wintry mix is going to come into the area generally near or after 11 o'clock. So I've stopped the clock right here 11 p.m. just to show it to you. Likely still dry in the Toledo metro. It is going to be after 11. This is the wintry mix. It's going to come into the area, and that wintry mix slides in. Here's the clock just after midnight, 1 a.m. It's going to be a pretty quick, heavy thump of some freezing rain. It's not going to last long. This may be about midnight to 6 a.m. at most of freezing rain. That's a good 6 hours, though, where things could get very icy across the region, up to 1/10 of an inch of ice, and that's gone. By daybreak, 6 to 7 a.m., it is out of here, but the question is, how long does it take for that ice to actually melt away? Highs in the upper 20s, near 30s. We go to Wednesday. Your alert day, Thursday morning. Wintry mix will wrap up to a few showers as we rise to the upper 30s to near 40. 32 the high Friday, and another system, I've got my eye on it, as we get into Saturday, could bring another icy mix to the area that will dry out for the end of the weekend and early next week, mid to upper 20s. Kaylee, back over to you.
The Toledo Lucas County Public Library and TARTA are celebrating the birthday of Rosa Parks and her achievements. But did you know that there is a mural on the display inside the TARTA hub, as well as a display on one of the buses? These murals are meant to help share her story and inspire others.
My inspiration from Rosa Parks is just doing the right thing. Always do the right thing. It may cost you, it may be a little painful, but that one right action that she took It's why we're here today celebrating.
This Saturday, various community leaders will visit 4 different local library branches to share Rosa Parks' story with kids. They will visit Mott, King Road, Heather Downs, and the Holland Library branches. Lucas County is honoring Black History Month with the raising of the Pan-African flag at One Government Center. The flag can be seen in the entire month of February. The flag is red, black, and green. Commissioners say the flag was created in 1920 and represents the blood and land that unites all people of African history.
So it feels good to be able to have something consistent and a near institution in the city that people could count on it happening.
Just happy to be able to continue to do this. Love my city for being able to do this and not being dissuaded by somebody in a federal office that's supposedly signing bills, which, is disrupting the entire country.
The city has been committed to honoring Black History Month this way the past 5 years. Well, another week has passed and the Imagination Station remains closed with no set date to reopen after it closed due to a water main break. But the fix for this is coming at a heavy cost. Laura Sandlin has the latest.
On January 22nd, the water main at Imagination Station broke, causing the building to close.
After investigating a little bit and working with their team, it was quickly realized that there was no way to do a repair and that we would need to run a new private line to Imagination Station.
Almost 2 weeks later, the building remains closed. Because the city owns the building, they're responsible for replacing the line. Megan Robeson, public service director for the city, says the job was too much for their crews. And after receiving multiple quotes, they finally landed on a team to make the fix.
And it turned out that Kokosine gave us the best price, and they also were able to mobilize immediately.
City Council is scheduled to vote next Tuesday to approve a $350,000 emergency replacement of the line. But work has already begun.
It's estimated once we started the work last week to be about 10 to 14 days. The main goal is to get clean water to Imagination Station, and then we can do all of those cosmetic things after the fact.
Since the break, no one has been permitted to enter the building, causing members to lose out. However, Andy Roman, director of marketing for Imagination Station, says they've been doing what they can to keep people up to date.
We've been staying in communication with our members through email and social media. We have a team that are making phone calls to members.
While there's not a specific date set to reopen, Roman says to keep your eyes and ears ready.
What we're telling everyone is to check our website and online, and as soon as we know, they're going to know because we cannot wait.
Reporting in downtown Toledo, Laura Sandlin, WTOL 11.
8 major Toledo roadways will be under construction this year. One of those is C-Corps between Lasky and Alexis, and business owners say they're worried it will impact business. Mark Monette, owner of Monette's Market, says business has already taken a hit because of a smaller construction project on C-Corps between McGregor and Lasky. He says because of that project, they've lost 10 to 20% of business. Monette says the even bigger project, which starts in May, could hurt business even more.
I don't know what to expect. I do know that we do have some side streets that we're able to get through here, but those side streets can only handle a limited amount of traffic. We have schools in the back neighborhood. It does concern me a little bit to have that heavier flow of traffic to these different areas, and I don't know what to expect. I'm hoping for the best.
The city tells WTOL 11 the project could expand into 2026. Maumee High School is spreading love this Valentine's Day through a special initiative called Operation Surprise Attack. Doesn't sound very lovey-dovey, but all the students at the high school recently made cards for 5 sick kids at nearby hospitals, and some of the cards are pretty creative. These heartfelt messages will be delivered on Valentine's Day.